Okay, so what we've got now is this is mounted on here, and it has this arm so that the arm can come up and go across. So this obviously presents a few problems. The first being I have to get the hand to rotate. Well, I think the solution to that will be to cut the wrist, the elbow here, and make this piece rotate, so that the hand can do this sort of thing. That's fairly simple. The other problem is this is really heavy, and I've only bought these small 12-volt motors. They're great, but they're not that powerful, and they wouldn't last very long if I don't do something about it. So I have a couple of solutions to this. Number one, I can almost sort of honeycomb this, so I can cut circles out of it here, there and everywhere and make it much lighter. It still says that it's an arm, but it'll drastically decrease the weight of it. Another thing I could do is I could have a pivot here, not a pivot, pulley here with a piece of wire or something coming up to the pulley and then running down with a weight on it to counterbalance the weight of the arm. I like the sound of that. I'm not sure I lose out aesthetically much by having it done there, but I'm a bit concerned about the position of this. It's asking quite a lot for it to do from one point, and then to bring it out, which means it's coming that way. I'm just not sure. I think that's going to act against against the motors that are actually making the arm move. It is quite a good solution. Another possibility might be to have something with a weight on it off the back of this, but obviously that weight then doesn't work so well when the arm is in its resting position. So I don't know. I mean, the other way of doing it is you have a piece off and then you have a weight coming off like that, and that still gives it that sort of pull. That may work. All this is going to be trial and error. I don't know yet, but I think that's sort of pretty much where I'm going to leave it for today, and then tomorrow I'll get back on with it again. Right, this is day 2 of this sculpture build called Sensation. Just a quick recap. The arm will come up and go out of the window, and then the hand will turn and it will go up and down as the hand turns. So this is very heavy, so my job today will be to cut this across the elbow, and reduce the weight of this by getting rid of a load of the, just like make it a sort of honeycomb, cutting loads of circles out. I also have to find some way of turning the wrist here so that the hand will turn. So that's the other job that I'm going to do today. Right, so what we've done now so far is I've cut the arm in 2, so it's going to rotate around there. As you can see, I've cut to lightened it, yeah, I think quite a lot. Definitely feels a lot lighter. Whether it's light enough, I don't know. And this obviously has a lot of holes drilled out of it. Still seems strong enough to do the job. So I've also cut the hands because they were bending, and I want them straight as that, so you get that movement that you get when you stick your hand out of the car. So I've cut across all the finger joints, straightened it up, and then put a piece of wood in. So my next job is to fill all this in and sand it and try and make it look nice and smooth, and then I can get on with putting some sort of joint in here for it to rotate smoothly. So that's what's next. Okay, so what we got now, I've filled that, put a block of wood in to bring the fingers out, because through cutting it I actually made them too short, and then just sort of roughly shaped it. I'll spray this white, I think that'll be pretty good. It's still got screws sticking out, but I don't think that's like a huge problem. And then the other thing that I've done is I've cut out a block of wood to fit perfectly in the end. It'll have a couple of screws, and then I've got to find some way of mounting a bolt or some sort of rod through, and then some sort of bearing to make it turn so it turns. So that's what's going to happen next. Okay, so this is This is first attempt with this. So I basically cut 2 bits of wood, one inside and one inside to fit there. Dog's just nicking something. And I put a bearing in between, and then I put a shaft through and welded it either end. It's not great. The arm bends in the middle, that stops it actually rotating correctly. So this is back to the drawing board for this one, and I'll have to work out a better method of doing it. Okay, we're all having a good bit of success. So, axle for a bicycle, wheel, perfect. So we have that turning. So what I've done is I've put bolts through, drilled them, put them through, welded them to this bit, so that is solid connected to that, and then of course this will go into the other part of the arm, and that will have rods come down onto it, and then they'll be welded to that so that it will turn quite nicely, and also if I get it right, it won't actually sag when the arm is held outright. And that is hopefully job done, but I'm done for today. That's day 3 done.